Kevin Feige is completely losing it in more ways than one. First off, he completely lost it with Marvel, and what used to make Marvel so great, all of that is completely out the window now at Marvel, as Marvel continues to embrace more and more of the woke insanity, and because of that, Marvel has completely fallen off in a way that I have never seen with any other franchise before. And Kevin Feige is also losing it when it comes to him personally as well. This whole story here is absolutely crazy, and we're going to jump right into it. A lot of this has to do with the Blade film that was supposed to be coming out, if you guys remember, at the end of this year, but that has completely changed. It is no longer here. It is no longer anywhere. It is in total limbo right now with the amount of chaos that this film is going through. Marvel exec behind Blade reportedly fired because he didn't sound the alarm on film's abysmal direction. It's one of the few times that anyone has actually even heard Kevin Feige yell at someone. And so I don't really feel sorry for Kevin Feige at all. In fact, this is all partially Kevin Feige's fault. Ultimately, he is the one responsible. He is the one to blame for the direction that Marvel has gone in. He is the one who really wanted to push a lot of the feminist nonsense in Marvel. He's the one that has continued to push for Marvel to become more and more woke. He is captain of the ship, and because of that, we have seen Marvel completely fall apart in a development which, if true, would be one of the most surprising things to come out of the MCU in recent memory. A new report has claimed that the Marvel executive responsible for their Blade reboot has been sacked for intentionally lying to studio boss Kevin Feige about just how truly disastrous the film was shaping up to be. Through word that the Daywalkers' next cinematic outing would be anything but quality had been raised over the past year by multiple scoopers, it was brought to more widespread attention courtesy of Variety's Titania Segal, who in her recent Crisis at Marvel expose detailed how, as public criticism mounts, Feige is pulling the plug on scripts and projects that aren't working. At this point, you might as well just scrap everything after Endgame and completely start over. Endgame itself even started to kind of flirt with a lot of the woke nonsense, and even before that, we had Captain Marvel, which was, of course, a complete woke disaster. And now we are seeing the downhill trend happening with Marvel with everything that they are putting out. It is all just total crap at this point. Case in point, the Blade reboot, things look promising for a 2023 release date, but the project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown 6 weeks before production. One person familiar with the script permutations say the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead, a bizarre idea considering that the studio had 2-time Oscar winner Ali on board. And it was in light of this supposed revelation that independent film reporter Jeff Snyder would make a discovery of his own. Speaking to the topic of Blade during the November 1st episode of his and film critic John Rocha's The Hot Mic live show, Snyder informed his co-hosts that while he was unsure if Segal's description of the film's current state was 100% accurate, he was aware that the executive who is working on Blade basically tried to obscure what was going on. He didn't sound the alarm on the process and what trouble the project was in. To this end, the reporter then divulged, and I'm told, that he was fired. Another source said that it was a parting of the ways. I push back against that because I'm like, who leaves Marvel, right? It's the dream job for most geek executives. I don't think a lot of people are leaving on their own accord. And then we hear about some of the crazy stuff that happened even with Kevin Feige. My source said, and you know, Marvel didn't comment on anything like this, but they said it's one of the few times that anyone has actually ever heard Kevin Feige yell at someone. That was the quote. We could change that to raised voice, but it was one of the few times that this individual had heard Kevin ever raise his voice. Snyder asserted to the executive on Blade, who I'm not going to name, you may maybe figure out who it is no longer with Marvel, and that is confirmed. And so this is absolutely crazy that we are at this point, even with Blade. To be honest, I don't think that Blade even needs a reboot, to be completely honest. I thought that the originals were just fine, especially the first one. The first one and the second one were both pretty awesome. And so I don't think that it even needs a reboot, to be completely honest, especially in the current state of Marvel. But this just shows you just how much of a panic Kevin Feige is in, as he is seeing his entire Marvel empire falling apart. And that, of course, we can all point the fingers at why that is. We can all point at the timeline of the MCU releases of when that started to happen. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what is going on with Marvel. With that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think about this crazy news about Kevin Feige and the complete and total panic that he is currently in, as he is trying to figure out what to do with Marvel at this point, scrapping projects left and right, raising his voices at people, and all of that type of stuff. It's absolutely hilarious to see, and I don't feel bad about it whatsoever. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.